one of the big habits that corrected during the COVID-19 crisis is that I used to get involved in road rage a lot, believe it or not. I'd be driving on the road, somebody would whiz by and do something awkward, speeding, maybe tailgating, and I just couldn't let it go. I would scream at the person. Sometimes after I would scream at somebody on the highway, they would slow down to almost confront me, and it would scare me out of my mind. Sometimes I would almost get into an accident over this, or I would run off the road. One time I ran off the road after somebody slowed down to confront me, and my car got stuck in the ditch, and I had to call AAA, and it was a big inconvenience for me. I wasn't hurt or anything. My car wasn't damaged or anything, but I still wanted to get involved in road rage after that, and especially at the beginning of the quarantine, I got in several major road rages because it would puzzle me why somebody would be in such a hurry. You're just going to go home to quarantine, to lay in bed, to watch TV, to drink beer. What's the big hurry? It's not like you're going you're late for a meeting. You're on your way to catch a flight or something. It just puzzled the hell out of me. I'm a very curious guy. But afterwards, traffic started to die down, and what really helped was putting a little bit of temporal distancing in between being angry and being able to confront somebody, right? When I would be going out on the road and there's not a whole lot of traffic, and I see somebody a mile ahead of me tailgating, or if I see somebody a mile ahead of me driving erratically, by the time I get to it, I've already put 30 to 60 seconds in between myself and the event. And all of a sudden, it doesn't seem like that big a deal anymore, and I can just move on. That was a funny scene. It doesn't even seem like part of my life anymore when I give it a couple of seconds, and that's a big problem for me. Right now, I've been handling a lot of things remotely, and oftentimes I'll be ready to send an email, and I realize, I'm not so upset about what I'm trying to say. Maybe I should tone down the language in my email, and so many times I delete emails. And when you guys watch me on YouTube, what you don't realize is that how many, out of every minute of video I post on YouTube, I probably recorded 2, 3, 4 minutes of footage easily, and sometimes it doesn't look right, it doesn't sound right, maybe I even misspoke, maybe later on I watch it and I realize I cussed in the video when I really didn't intend to cuss. Maybe I said something that was a little bit confidential and I can't post it on YouTube, and I delete it. And when you watch YouTube, it's not it's not representative of what you would see if you were interacting with me. And I worry that I'm giving the wrong impression when right now during this time with my emails and my social media, that people are going to expect this of me. About 12 years ago, my first year working on my PhD, I had a very upsetting situation. You see, it was our first semester, and my classmates and I had this potluck event. We were going to prepare some food, and I have dietary restrictions, and I confided with a couple classmates of mine, and they really wanted to go out on my way to prepare something for me. I mean, they obviously had to consider that other people would like whatever they were preparing, and I suggested just some changes to their recipe, and we really put a lot of effort into this. And finally, my classmate comes in with his dish, which is great. And another classmate of mine who didn't go into preparing something for me, he knew I had these restrictions. He was busy with other things. I don't fault him for not preparing something for me, but he comes in and he's really clumsy, and he had containers that were falling apart, and he threw his dish on top of the stuff that my classmate had prepared and contaminated it. And I have anger management problems, and I didn't want to blow up in the party, so I left, and I missed the party. And what was really upsetting was that I had hoped that I could use that party as an event to talk to a girl in our class, and I missed out on that chance. And a couple weeks later, I discovered the girl had met another guy, and so that was very upsetting for a very long time. But my big problem was that because I had anger management problems, I had to pull myself away from the party. Had I had better control of myself and I could explain to that guy why I was so upset at him without blowing up, that could have been handled a whole lot better. I'm so glad I got this situation with COVID-19 that allows me to put what I now call temporal distancing in between events, right? Kind of like social distancing, but with time, right? Putting 30 to 60 seconds in between what I see and how I react. It often helps me digest how I really feel and how I really what message I really need to give. And it's good. I realize that a lot of things don't necessarily happen at me. It's that I don't give myself enough time to react. It kind of reminds me of my first backgammon tournament I ever went to. I signed up for an intermediate level when I was really only a beginner, and my opponent was playing very fast. And it made me feel like I had to play as fast as him, and I was making really stupid mistakes. Eventually, I joined the beginner division instead, and I won number one in New York in 2016, and now I'm not allowed to play beginner anymore. So that's good. I realize that for backgammon, I don't have to play as fast as my opponent. Maybe I should do the same thing with life as well. Thanks for watching.